If we compare the Missa and Cantata, we must say that Missa and Cantata means that the texts are texts of the liturgy and the musician has been composed to use in services. The Missa, especially in the Roman Catholic tradition, the cantatas have been composed for the Protestant services. Perhaps at the beginning of the 18th century, oratories started to be composed for not service ideas. What's the difference to the opera is there is dramatic text most time in the oratories too. In oratory we don't have a stage, but there are soloists, there is a choir, there is orchestra, and it's a dramatic text, a dramatic musician, but it's not on stage. It's in a concert hall, for example, or it's played, it's performed in a church too, but it's not during service. And opera uses text. The composers are interested in that are stories of historical myths, for example. Myths, Mythen. I think it's the word in English, myths, like the stories of the Greece antiques or the Roman antiques and so on. And the texts are also taken from very philosophical ideas, and the texts also can be used to make problems nowadays, or when the opera has been composed, to make it present. Mozart, for example, he also used to say between the lines of the text something about gesellschaftliche Kritik. He criticizes the habits of the people of his time.
If I go back to the past and I think about, for instance, about the music of Bach, and I compare his secular music with his non-secular music, then that is actually with the music itself, with the notes, there is not much difference. With my music, of course, I react to the words, to the emotion of the words, and to what is behind the words. But and this affects the music itself. It affects expression of the music and the dynamic of the music. But it does not really affect the style of the music. The elements of music, when I have the words and write music to them, is how the rhythmic figures are, how the melodic figures are, the harmonic figures. I can use the same or similar rhythmic or harmonic or melodic structures to words upon God as to words upon love. So I use for this kind of words the same elements.
But I think both parts. I think you need both, and not only need. There are so many pieces written in both directions. So that's why I think, I mean, if you love literature, you don't read only detective, yeah, or you don't read only roman. You try to read all different genres. So you read even poesy and poems, yeah. So I think this is the same with the music. So it's very difficult just to say, well, I love only sacred music. Just to see the not difference, but how much you can find in both directions. So because both secular and the profane music have so much to say, and sometimes you can even have some sacred experience in the profane music, because it's so deep and it's telling about the feelings and the experience which is really very near to the religious, yeah, and the opposite. So sometimes religious music can be really like very real, yeah, and very down to the earth.
Every kind of music tells a strong message, and you can just bring many informations and emotions across, and you can express many emotions. In this song you have loud parts and you have more silent parts, and it all comes together, and you can just express yourself, and you can sound as if you are complaining, but well, you're allowed to, because it's the music and that's what you're supposed to do. So it's a really nice way to just express your feelings.
What the music can express is what is the feeling of the listener, or of the one who reads or has the experience of the words, and this comes into the music, but not necessarily the topic, but what the words are about.
The great difference is that opera always is on stage and it's performed with playing on the stage, like a film, for example. And I think that in the 21st century we have video clips, we always are interested in seeing something. For example, and as the people are so very interested in having a visual point of view, they like more to see operas, I think, than oratories. But for there's the visual thing. In oratory you don't have the stage, yeah? But the themes very often are the same, like in opera.
I wrote operas on themes like all operas, love and love and murder, and I wrote oratorios or on Augustinus. The music, if you put the words away, is not too much a difference, I think.
Music is a really important part of my life, and it just helps me to be who I am, I guess. I'm studying theology, Catholic theology, and if you study that, it is after a while really difficult to believe in something, because all the history behind it just makes you see how it doesn't fit together, or how little, I don't know, basics there really are. But if you sing the music and if you hear those words, like for example what we were singing before, wer bis an das Ende beharrt, der wird selig, it's a really strong message, and if you put it together with the music, it's even stronger. And if you listen to it, and I don't know, they say the angels in heaven are singing, and if you listen to the music and sing it yourself, you kind of feel it a little bit, maybe, and that's a really, really strong feeling.
And what could be interesting for oratory in the 21st century is that everybody at some times of his life thinks about where do I come from, and where am I, and where perhaps will I go after my death here. And I think that all the worldwide religions try to give answers to these great questions that everybody has, I think. And that's a thing where oratory, I think, also in the 21st century can try to give answers, or try to make a sensitive situation. Yeah, oratory has always tried to speak about religious themes.